Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel here with a special Azzurri episode with none other than my brother Anthony. We're usually doing Inter-related videos, but today we're switching it up to Azzurri-related talk. What's good, my bro?
Bro, it's good to see Italy get the win. It's good to be here with you.
Yeah, thank you for joining me, my bro. What did you make of, before we get started? So we're here to do a tier list with my bro. So we're gonna talk through who should make the squad for the Euros this summer. But before we get into it, Anthony, what did you make of Italy's match the other day against Northern Ireland?
Yeah, I was actually pretty happy with it. I was very happy with the amount of possession and the way that Italy was attacking the box in the first half. And we did what any Italian team usually would do in their prime. We put the game to bed early before we had to really ask any questions. The second half was very typical of an Italian team that's 2 goals up. I'm confident in defending that lead. A couple of scraps in the back at defense, but for the most part, I'm just happy to see this Italian side still go against their traditional tactical style of play and really just attack and look for the goals, because Mancini knows we've got the personnel in the side to do that. We've got such a fluid, young, aggressive midfield. Like, even our wing backs, for God's sake, Emerson Palmieri has got that samba in him. He's an attacking wing back. We must utilize him to the fullest potential. And at the end of the day, man, 1 game down. I'm unsure how many there are together. I think it's 10 altogether qualifiers we usually play to go to the World Cup. But let's just qualify and bury those ghosts that are still haunting us from late 2017. What did you think of the game, Maji?
Yeah, no, same as you. I was quite impressive. I was quite impressed how ruthless they were. They had a few chances, they took them, and then as you said, coasted through to. I mean, Northern Ireland didn't have much of a threat going forward, but clean sheet, proper Italian performance, as you said. Let me just pull up the so the squad that Mancini picked for this one was quite interesting. He has a massive squad. Like, this guy just seemed like he picked like every person that he could think of. It's like a 35 man squad. It's some random picks in there, like Ricci from Spezia. I wasn't expecting him to be picked. Verratti from Sassuolo as well, and then Rafael Toloiga in his first call-up, Italo-Brazilian. I guess he's got Italian passport now, so he's eligible for the call-up. Well, what did you make of the squad in general?
Oh, it's deep. As you said, that the first thing that came to my mind was deep. Like, we have got a lot of players to choose from here. Mancini is spoiled for choice. It's like a high-end buffet, man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to chatting to you. Who do you think is going to be those players, bro?
Yeah, well, let's get into it. So this is the tier list. Can you see it? Yeah. So we've got the tiers are starting 11. So these are the guys that we know that me and you, these guys need to be on the starting 11, whatever happens on that pitch. Then there is definitely on the plane below that, and then should be okay. So probably will be part of the squad. And then there's a wild card zone that you could say Mancini. You never know. This guy could, if he puts in, some form towards the end of the season, he might make it. And then we have the no chance zone that I'm sure we already got some names for that one. But I think we should start off with the starting 11. I think we should just, get them out of the way. The guys that we know are going to be the starting 11 for this team. So I was just, obviously the most obvious one. Come on, Gigio Donnarumma has to be the starting goalkeeper.
Right. There you go.
So Gigio Donnarumma, obviously easy pick for. He has to be the #1 goalkeeper. He has no competition, I think, in this team anymore. What do you make of the Meret? Over the years, people always say like, oh, Meret could be as good as Donnarumma. I've never really subscribed to that opinion. What do you think of Meret?
No, not only physically does he not perform as athletic as Donnarumma does, I also just don't think he has the form either. I think he's a good goalkeeper. I think he's one of the better goalkeepers in Serie A. But in terms of rivaling Donnarumma, he's definitely not in the same bracket. Definitely not.
Yeah, if you can't even get ahead of Ospina in your own team, then how are you going to get ahead of Donnarumma?
100%.
And then, obviously, our boy, and you're the president of this boys fan club, obviously, Nicolo motherfucking Barella. He has to be the starter,
God, he's
right?
so good. He's so good, man. He's incredible. I was just, even yesterday again, I was looking at his heat maps and where he plays on the pitch, and Man, this guy from the center of the park to the whole right-hand side of the field is just you can't contain him, man. You cannot contain him. I think, barring such a stellar season for other midfielders and maybe an average one for him next season, he will be the first midfielder on the list starting for the Azzurri.
Spot on, bro. And obviously, Inter player. What can we say? Then let's. What do you think in the defense? Then who do you think has to be starting in the defense? So we've got Bastoni, Acerbi. We're pretty stacked in that position. Bonucci and Chiellini. Who of those centre backs do you think should be the starter centre backs?
Well, if we're gonna pick two of them, I highly doubt Mancini's ever gonna play three, ever. He hasn't yet. He's gonna play four, so it's a tough one because he's definitely going to take Chiellini to the World Cup. There has to be some sort of conversation that's going on between Chiellini and him that Giorgio said, if you're going to take me to the qualifiers, I expect you out of almost friendship and as a reflex to put me in the World Cup squad. Even if I eat bench the whole time I'm traveling. Otherwise, why do you even entertain him in the qualifiers at the moment? It would go against what the interests are for Juventus to send Giorgio Chiellini in a COVID time where everything is so stacked in Serie A. I don't need to do the housekeeping in Serie A. We know what's going on. So for me, Chiellini is almost the first one on the list just out of sheer because I know he's going to go to the World Cup. But would I start him to answer your original question? The answer is probably not. I actually think our boy Bastoni is the best and most physically capable of the lot at the moment. However, he's so young and naive. At the end of the day, you'd forgive him because we have seen him a few times this season make a few mistakes, Raul. But it's so forgivable because he's had such an amazing season. He's just a kid. He's a child, bro. And he's performing like a world-class centre-back in our team at the moment. But do you send him to the World Cup in 2022 to lead the same defensive line that's been led by Paolo Maldini or Fabio Cannavaro in the past, man? We might be sitting here 12 months from now going, Bastoni is so ready. I can't believe we even doubted him 12 months ago. But for now, I would put maybe Acerbi in there into the starting lineup. I think he's had a fantastic season for Lazio as well. But then again, his performances for the Azzurri might be different. I know there's a lot of people that will say stick to the Bonucci-Chiellini partnership because traditionally they've been together for a long time.
Yeah,
I can't do that. I hate Bonucci. I think he's so out of form. I think he's been made to look twice the player he is because of Chiellini throughout his whole career. If it were up to me, I would keep that ugly motherfucker back home and wouldn't even take him. But I can't see that happening. I know I went around it in a long, long way, but leave Chiellini up there and put Bastoni in there for me as well.
Yeah. It's a hard one, isn't it?
I tried to cover like everything because it's a tough one. Those are four really tough names, and it's good. It's good to be spoiled for choice, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing with the problem we got with Bonucci is he's the captain of the team. Unfortunately, as much as we might dislike him or his form has dropped off, he has to be. I think he has to be. I think, and because Bastoni and Chiellini are both left-footed, I don't think we're going to start with two left-footed centre backs.
That's right. Yeah.
I think we can put Chiellini definitely on the plane, as you said. He'll be part of the squad if he's fit. If he's not injured, he'll definitely be on the plane. But I think a Bonucci Bastoni duo, I think, is very well balanced. A right footer and a left-footed centre back. Yeah.
So we've got Chiellini as is that Bonucci up in the starting XI?
Yeah, they've got Bonucci, Bastoni starting 11, and then Barella, Donnarumma, and then Chiellini definitely on the plane.
Chiellini, good stuff. Obviously we can't just take three centre backs, can we? We're going to have to take four. So I guess Acerbi, you can put him next to Chiellini because he's not going to miss the squad. Who else is going to take Acerbi's spot as the last centre back? Nobody.
And the Jerry Mancini will cry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. What about the fullbacks? But I feel like this is like the weak point of this team. It seems like. I think that's the general weakness in the whole world of football. I think is a position that you really don't see any standout players. So we've got in that position, we got Florenzi, we've got our boy Danilo D'Ambrosio, we've got Di Lorenzo Napoli. Obviously Emerson Palmieri, Who else we got in that position? We got Pellegrini from Genoa, Lazzari from Lazio, and who else do we have? Spinazzola from Roma, and probably he's not in the list here, but he was on the list for Mancini and the call up for the squad. Biraghi from Fiorentina. So who's your starting fullbacks?
Jeez, have you ever seen a more impressive list of 6 out of 10 fullbacks in your life? You know, they're all a solid 6 out of 10. There ain't no 7s, there ain't no 5s.
No.
All right, it's a long list. It's a long list. So I think when you look at those names, you really just look for reliability and capabilities and who can get the job done over 90 minutes. And for me, it's actually quite clear, even though they're not world beaters anymore, or they're not, world class as you might call them, I actually wouldn't go past putting Florenzi as the starting right back. Just after he still maintained his professionalism throughout his PSG career, realized that he needed to move in order to keep his career at a certain level, probably saw Roma as the sinking ship plummeting behind the scenes a little bit, and more power to him, because I think more often than not he's come up goods for PSG and they tend to like him over there. I think
he played good the other day as well.
Yeah, man. I think despite inconsistencies at Chelsea, Emerson Palmieri gets himself ridiculously involved when he plays for the national team. I'm always impressed by his ability to hold down the left-hand side defensively and push up a lot in attack. Now, granted, since Mancini has taken over, it's an important point to point out. Italy, we have been coming up against opponents 80% of the time that are way beneath this Italian team's quality. We have whipped a lot of teams. It reminds me of like Rocky 3, the start of Rocky 3, where he's just whipping everybody left, right, and center, and then Clubber Lang comes along and then just knocks his ass to the ground. Like Italy's been whipping boys, just, kind of like stat padding to get our stature back up again. But you can only beat what's in front of you. And I think that we've come up against every challenge really, really well. I'm very impressed with the way the national team has recovered from the disaster zone that it was in. And I think Emerson Palmieri has done enough so far to earn himself a spot in this World Cup side as definitely on the plane.
I think our boy Danilo D'Ambrosio, unfortunately, I don't think he has a chance this year. He's been unfortunate with injuries, and now he mainly plays as a centre-back for Inter as well. And I just don't think he's played enough for the squad. So unfortunately, Santo Danilo, I don't think he's going to make it.
For me, looking at the list of the players that's left, I can put one in the should be okay region. Unless he gets injured or dips in form big time, I'd be putting Spinazzola on the plane there for that World Cup. I think just out of sheer quality, he's one of the better.
I think he's definitely on the plane. Because you don't really.
Even better. Yeah.
He's not. There's not many. Like, I know he plays mainly wing back for Roma, but he's improved defensively from what I've seen, and he's been putting up good performances. I think he's definitely on the plane. Yeah.
Who's left? Lazzari, Pellegrini. Who are the other two?
Lazzari, Pellegrini. Yeah, Pellegrini's not gonna make it. He's, at Genoa, he's not really worked out. I don't think he even starts anymore for them. So he's definitely not making it, even though he's a good talent for the future to keep an eye on. There's also Calabria. I forgot about Calabria. I think Calabria would have been definitely there for me, but he apparently last week he had to have a surgery on his meniscus, so he's out for like a month. So he could be, I don't know if he's gonna make it now. I would put him maybe in the should be okay if he recovers in time. Because he's improved so much this year. Like I didn't know I used to rate him. Still at the fullback. So who's the starting? So we've got Florenzi as the starting right back. Who's the starting left back, do you think?
For me, it would probably be Emerson at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like, even though he doesn't play for Chelsea, it looks like Mancini just likes what he has to offer. So that's our defense. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's going to be the starting defense, and obviously midfield, we already covered it off with Nicolo Barella. He's going to be in the 4-3-3. He'll be the right centre mid. Now this is an interesting one, bro. The regista position.
This is gonna be tough.
So we've got the guy who I think it will be starting will be Jorginho, but we've got a guy who's staking his place recently called Manuel Locatelli from Sassuolo. Well, who do you think? Who would you start out of the two in that regista position?
Wow. It's very tough. It's very, very tough. If the games were to be played this weekend, I would start Jorginho. However, it really depends on how the rest of this season pans out. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, it probably will be Jorginho. Locatelli is just so impressive at the moment. So impressive. But I think just due to maybe just having a little bit more experience, Mancini will prefer Jorginho. You might think differently though. What do you think?
No, I think so. I think he showed against Northern Ireland. You know, Locatelli had a pretty below par game, and because Jorginho's injured for this squad, so you felt the need for a Jorginho player, and you know he's picked up his form for Chelsea this year since Tuchel's come in as well. So I would definitely put Jorginho in there. Now the left centre mid position, who's starting in that? In that one, I can't look past Marco Verratti. You know, I think he's one of the few truly elite players that this Italy team has. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Put him in there. So we've already got Barella and Verratti starting in the midfield. I'm already so happy with that. With Jorginho as well, it's looking very good, man. We should be able to hold on to the ball for a long time.
Yeah. So now moving on to the striker positions in the 4-3-3, obviously. So there's going to be 2 wingers and 1 striker. Let's start off with the wingers. Federico Chiesa. Is he?
Yes, definitely.
I know you're not the biggest fan of him like me in terms of his personality, but I think ability-wise, he's become undeniable now.
Bro, if it was not for Federico Chiesa, Juventus would be equal 6th, scrapping for Europa League this season, man. He has had a fantastic season, and I got to give him all the props in the world. He honestly has that. Yeah, we say it a lot in Australia. I'm not going to say it on your channel. He is a proper C word when he's on the field. And you can see that he really matches that sort of mentality for Juve. He's in his home and he's going to do really good things there. He's earned himself a starting position for me. And as an Azzurri fan, I'm a fan of Federico Chiesa in our national shirt.
Yeah, spot on. And, you know, he can play off either wing, which is always handy, which he does for Juve as well. So Federico Chiesa has to be in there for me in any shape or form. Then on the other wing, whichever wing we choose to do, so we've got, and again we've got some competition here. We've got Domenico Berardi, who's putting a good, he's doing himself good over the last few weeks for Sassuolo, and then scoring again for Italy the other day. Then we've got Lorenzo Insigne, obviously, mainstay of the team for a few years now. I'm gonna put I'll put Moise Kean as one of the strikers. So let's not talk about Moise Kean in this one. And then who else we got? We've got
Bernardeschi, is he there?
Yeah, Bernardeschi is there. We got Orsolini. Orsolini I can put out because he's just not had a good season for Bologna. I don't think he's gonna make it. I'm gonna put him in the no chance column. So out of Bernardeschi, Insigne, and who else? Berardi. Who's the starting winger, bro?
Did you just mention Politano as well?
I was about to mention him, but he didn't make the latest squad, which was a bit of a controversy. But he scored 11 goals this season, which is really good return.
Yeah, just slightly off the record for this video, I'm so happy to see him performing well, man. He's such a nice dude, and I think I'm happy to be slightly wrong about him. He's playing a lot better for Napoli this season, and he's so much more versatile in that team. He's showing that he's not just a one-trick pony, and to be honest, I think he's doing well, and I'm happy to see Politano do well. I'd love to see him make this squad for the World Cup and continue his form next year to make the World Cup.
Should we put him in the wild card for that reason?
Yeah, do it. Give our boy Popo a wild card position.
Lovely. So out of Berardi, Insigne, and who was the third one?
Bernardeschi,
yeah. Who's your starting winger?
See,
we know Mancini seems to love Bernardeschi for some reason.
And for me, if it was my decision, I'd still be starting with Insigne, to be honest, because I think in a knockout tournament like the Euros, where you really require maybe that one little moment of brilliance to get you over the line, I think out of those three, I'd be looking at Lorenzo Insigne going, you can do something for me, whether it's with a pass, whether it's with a shot. I'm still putting you down ahead of those other two. It's a shame Ventura, the fat fuck, didn't feel the same way.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
That moment. That moment
Still
where
hurts.
he's trying to sub on De Rossi, and De Rossi's telling him like, "What are you doing, you idiot?" So put Insigne
Ugh.
on.
I was looking
But
at photos of De Rossi's first training session with the Azzurri side and watching him laugh. And in my head, I'm like, I reckon 75% of the conversation in the training camp on the first day is about that incident, those few seconds and whatnot, and how he's here now as a coach. It's a little bit poetic. So let's see how he works out for De Rossi.
yeah, no, I'm happy. I'm happy that he's part of the training setup now. You know, someone with that experience is only a good thing to have around.
Yeah.
Right. So that's all the 10 players. Now we've got the biggest probably conundrum that Mancini will have this summer, which is the striker position. So we've got Andrea Bellotti, Torino captain. We've got Ciccio Caputo, Sassuolo, mainstay, and then obviously Ciro Immobile. Who is the starting striker, bro?
All right, it's got to be Immobile. It's got to be Immobile. You got to keep trusting this guy, because even though his Italian national career hasn't been great since Mancini took over, he's very slowly starting to find that goal scoring form. He's probably going to keep scuffing and missing opportunities, but if we keep the faith in Immobile, his club form, he will bury them for the national team as well. So I don't think you can start anybody else over him. I've got my reservations about him, and it'd be a lot better if we had that striker that was so much more clearly better than him, to the point where we're like, hey, Ciro, unfortunately, we've got our target man. But Bellotti, as good as he is, you can't start him after he's had a full season at a team like Torino, the way they've been performing. That's just my opinion. My opinion. Some might argue that, well, he's still been performing well with shit players around him. Maybe if you start him for the national team, he'll bury more chances. I can't take that chance. I'd rather play it safe and go with Ciro. In terms of Ciccio Caputo, great player. Take him on the bench, because God forbid it's 1-1 or 0-0 and we need a goal. You bring on Ciccio Caputo against a tired defense. He's like a little rat, man. He'll find holes where there were no holes before. Mose Kean, on the other hand, way more physical, very, very athletic, great player, really good player. If he can keep his attitude in check, my brother, oh, Raul, this guy's going to be fantastic. We don't want another Balotelli on our national team hands here. Yeah. We want consistency, and he's got great talent, man. So I hope he keeps his head on. I think he should be okay to go to this World Cup. To go to the Euros this summer. Is that all of them? Have I done all four? Because, you have to take Bellotti. Bellotti has to go as well, but he won't start.
No, I agree, man. I was always in the Bellotti camp, to be honest, for the Italian national team, because I feel like he's a proper number 9. He doesn't need a guy next to him like Immobile. And this season, I've been so surprised when I watched Bellotti, because I didn't think he had much technicality about him. But this season, he's been doing everything for Torino, like creating chances. Assists, some of those through balls. I never thought he had some of those, things in his locker. But as you said, Ciro is an elite striker, so we have to, and we saw he's starting to pick up his form for Italy, as you said. So he has to be the starting number 9. But Bellotti is a great alternative to have with Caputo, with Kean. And the thing with Moise Kean, as we said, he could be one of the wingers as well. We've seen Mancini's played him on the right wing sometimes as well.
Yeah.
And then Bernardeschi, we know, whether we like it or not, he's definitely on the plane because Mancini loves him. And to be fair, as you said, he does seem to perform different when he plays for Italy. Seems like he goes back to those Fiorentina days when he was a good up-and-coming talent.
He's got more space, man. He's got more space when he plays for the national team, because, when he plays domestically in Serie A, how many teams approach Juventus with a negative mentality? We know it's every team. Every team is going to play negative against Juventus and try and get a point. So, lack of creativity in this current Juventus squad the last 2 or 3 years has also made their attackers look quite poor, in my opinion.
Yeah, spot on, bro. We've got our starting 11, so now we can just finish up the squad with the other ones that, we've got a few, obviously, Inter guys in there. We've got Roberto Gallardini. What do you think, bro? He's definitely
you had it the first time. Yeah. I mean, you know what, lad? Just keep him at home and keep him fresh, because Antonio Conte is going to need every little bit of energy in his legs for whenever we're playing. So, take one for the team, Roberto, and stay home.
Spot on, bro. And then we got another Inter guy, Stefano Sensi, the forgotten man. But Mancini has
Dude,
said that he's relying on him.
if we were doing this video, brother, 12 months ago, that would have been Sensi, possibly in Jorginho or Verratti's position, or Barella's position, either one. That could have been Sensi in any one of those three positions. Right now, what do you even say? I don't know where he's going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, but the thing is, Mancini seems to be like, he's even come out and said that he's relying on him, and it seems like, I think I'll probably need to double check this. I think he's got more minutes for Italy than he has for Inter in the last like 6 or 7 months. I think he might be all right, if he manages to stay fit, because just how much Mancini seems to like him, I think he might be all right, which is obviously a massive if.
Bro, if he's in form, this guy can be one of the most versatile midfielders on the planet, just out of his sheer qualities. If you need to hold the game because you're ahead by 1 goal, he's your number 1 guy to bring on. If you're chasing a goal and you need that spark, he's your number 1 guy to bring on. Like, this guy he can do almost anything that a midfielder can do except stay fit. And unfortunately, when you're an athlete, that's 100% of the ball game right there. So in terms of whether or not you take him, you have to take him. Like, if you want to put him should be okay, that's fine, because his fitness is the most questionable thing in the world. In terms of the minutes, bro, you are actually correct. I think he does have more minutes. I think he does have more minutes for Italy this season than he does for it doesn't say here. Well,
but anyway,
let's just put it this way: as long as he's got over 200 minutes for the national team, he's got more than he's had for Inter this season, bro.
Then I don't know what Kevin Lasagna is doing in this list, bro. He needs to get out of here, bro. Whoever made this list, I think needs to update it. Angelo Ogbonna, I've heard that he's playing good for West Ham, but I don't think he's gonna. I think we've got enough left-footed centre backs in there.
How many midfielders do we have in the squad up there already? We've got our 3 starters. How many's in the definitely on the plane? My eyes aren't that good from here.
No, we need more midfielders. So we've got Sensi in the should be okay. So we need more centre mids in there.
Okay, you can definitely throw Sandro Tonali up there. We'll see what he can do. Mancini knows what he can do. Even if he is inconsistently performing for Milan, he's just taking that next step in his career. And Sandro Tonali is definitely a player you want on your midfield squad there if he's available.
Yeah, but the other day he got sent off for the under-21s. He's not had a great start to his Milan career, to be honest. But as you said, just because he's got the talent, he's got in the minutes for Milan this season, so he should be on the plane, right?
I think so. I think he should be on the plane unless he doesn't improve at all over the next maybe like 2 months, but I think he will, bro.
And then Lorenzo Pellegrini will definitely be on the plane. He started the other day instead of Barella because I think because the Inter guys came a little bit late. So Pellegrini, captain for Roma now, he has to be. We know he's going to be there, even challenging. And then any more midfielders? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, wait, Berardi is definitely on the plane.
Yeah.
And then Castrovilli. What do you make of Castrovilli, bro?
If there is going to be some sort of semi-fire sale at the end of the season for Fiorentina, I would like to see Inter go and sign Castrovilli. But at the same time, if you're going to tell me to sign one of him or Rodrigo De Paul, I would choose the latter. I'll still choose De Paul. I think Castrovilli, unfortunately, is hitting a really good time of his career around a very unstable environment, which isn't good for anybody's career when they're trying to blossom. So he needs to move, in my opinion. At the moment, though, with all the competition around him, it's very, very unpredictable to say that if he's going to make this team. So a wild card would be good, and it's good to see. It's good to know that you've got someone like Castrovilli if somebody can't travel for whatever health or fitness reasons.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like him, but that Fiorentina is just a toxic cesspool at the moment. It doesn't allow for any
horrible.
And then Cristante should be okay. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I think he's been part of all the squads. He even plays centre back for Roma these days. I think just for like, you know, his consistency for Roma, not really moving the needle much, but just being, you know, a squad player, I think he should be okay. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. Like you do need those players with a little bit of experience and pedigree there, just to even out the squad and just to keep the dressing room in check. And I think that would be probably the biggest reason why I bring a player like Giorgio Chiellini along as well.
Yeah.
Because when you look at this team, what they have so much on the pitch, they definitely lack in, you know, mental fortitude, in my opinion. Like this is a team that could mentally break easily, in my opinion, if you didn't have those players like Chiellini. And even Bonucci to a certain extent, he can. That's where he'll come in handy as well. I can't really see properly, but I think I do see him. Is Zaniolo there in the squad?
Yes, he is, bro.
There he is. Man, like again, imagine he didn't do his ACLs, man. Could we be looking at certain players in this squad list that wouldn't make it? Like your Tonalis, your Castrovillis definitely wouldn't be there, like Zaniolo. But for me personally, man, doing one ACL at that age is bad. Doing both, I hate being so negative, but I don't want it. I would never want him back at my club, just for the sheer reason that this guy's career, unfortunately, physically, is going to break sooner rather than later. So I say no. I almost say no chance.
Yeah, I mean,
so
yeah, I've heard that.
So shit to say.
Yeah, I've heard that in a couple of weeks he's allowed to return with the Roma Primavera to start taking part in some matches, but you know, why would you take a guy?
Yeah.
Why would you take a guy?
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm looking at the date. The worst thing for this guy's career would be to go and play at an intensity like the Euros in 3 months' time. You can't do this, not after just returning. He can't play. In my opinion, from a physical point of view, this guy cannot travel to the Euros. He needs to work really hard at protecting the rest of his career.
Yeah, and his style of play is so physical as well, so I just don't think he's going to be the same player ever again.
Yeah, agreed.
Now, shall we look for the backup goalkeeper? So we've only got Donnarumma for now. So we got Meret, we got Gollini, and we got Sirigu, but I think Cragno's also been called up in the latest squad, so his picture's not there. But I personally would definitely put Cragno in there.
Yeah, for me it would be Cragno, definitely. Man, I must have missed this altogether. For some reason, I still thought Buffon was playing national team, was still in the squad.
He's finally retired.
Dude, because if he was there, you can almost guarantee he'd be there as the backup goalkeeper. Like, fuck form for anybody else. There is absolutely no chance any of those goalkeepers at the bottom would be getting on the plane if Buffon was still available. Cragno for me, because, look, to be honest, Donnarumma's going to play every single minute unless he gets injured. So let's just hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, I'll definitely be putting Cragno. Although I wouldn't be opposed to Sirigu getting on there as well. I don't mind him.
In the latest squad, Sirigu still made it, but I feel like Sirigu's really dropped off in form this year. Like, he's been really bad for Torino.
Yeah, prior to this year, man, he was actually one of my favorite goalkeepers in Serie A. I just love the way he barks at his players as well. But for me, it's got to be Cragno as well, bro.
Yeah, we haven't got the picture of him, but we've put Cragno definitely on the plane. And then Meret should definitely be on the plane as well then. So there's three. Usually they take three goalkeepers.
Who's left? Interesting stuff.
There's Gollini. I don't think Gollini will make it unless, someone gets injured. He's even been dropped for Sportiello recently, I've seen, for Atalanta, so there must be a reason for that. And then we've got Giovanni Di Lorenzo, and right back for Napoli. I think he should be okay, right?
Yeah. Where are the wing backs left in the squad? Down the bottom, or is he the last one?
We got Florenzi and Calabria for the right back already.
Yeah.
And then we've got Emerson and Spinazzola for left back.
Look, I would.
Is it between Lazzari and Di Lorenzo? Who'd you take?
No, Di Lorenzo for sure, in my opinion. If it's like that, I would say put them. I was going to put them both as wild cards, just like really pending on who closes out their season best. But yeah, I still agree with you on the first choice.
Yeah, well, Lazzari, the sheer pace, if you could bring that off the bench, just the sheer pace of that guy, it could be useful to have on the bench at some point. Yeah. Gianluca Mancini.
Dude, I like Mancini. I think he can be quite clumsy. His idol and most respected footballer is Materazzi. I feel like he's doing everything in his power to like mimic his capabilities and characteristics as well. I think it's almost inevitable that he ends up an Inter player at some point. So I'm doing everything I can to make sure I still like the guy. But his tenacity when it comes down to being a centre back, I like it, bro. I like it, and I will take him. In my opinion, he would be okay for me on the bench.
Yeah. No,
what do you think about him? We don't speak about him too much, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like he's a little bit overrated. He's really good on the ball. Like he's so good at doing everything apart from defending. I feel like as you said, he's quite clumsy at times, and he's a little bit hot-headed. But he scores goals. Like even at Atalanta, I remember that one season when Roma bought him, he scored like 6-7 goals. So he knows how to find the back of the net. So I think he definitely should be okay.
Yeah.
We've got Caldara here, but I think because this tier list is old, so we'll replace Caldara and put Toloi in there. Because Toloi made the latest squad. Would you take Rafael Toloi?
I definitely would, man. If he's fit, I would definitely take him, man. Like he deserves his experience. He deserves his run-in. He deserves his run. Is just the way he plays for Atalanta. I just love seeing him play, to be honest. And I think he's just one of those players where it can never hurt to take him, unless you've got players that are so unplayable that they're playing these players out of a squad list. But I think he should be okay, to be honest. If we've got the spot, do we have the spot left, or have we already occupied pretty much all of us?
Yeah, I think that's too many centre backs.
So now we're kind of choosing between him and thinking of dropping Mancini out of there then.
I think we should keep Mancini. Still the future of the Italy. He's still quite young, so we should take just for the experience, even if he doesn't play, just to take him to the tournament.
Man, we weren't wrong. This is a deep squad, man. This is a really deep squad. We've got players ready to step in everywhere. Anyway, who's going to close it out for us? Who are those players?
Romagnoli.
Finally, an easy one. We've been doing this for 45 minutes and 26 seconds, and finally, an easy decision. I would go no chance. And it's a shame because 1 year ago, he was still being told, like, this is the captain, this is the future of the Italian defense. But the future, all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, is right now. And he has been so bad. It's been comical. Raul. And how did it happen? How did this happen, bro? What do you put it down to?
I don't know. He had like an injury, and ever since then, he looks like he's like gained like 50 kilograms. Like the guy just can't seem to keep up with anyone. Teams are clearly targeting him, not just Lukaku and us. Like I've seen, other teams trying to target his lack of pace. So you can't have that on the international stage.
No, you really can't. And now, it doesn't help that every time he plays or gets on the pitch, he does something so out of left field, like a handball or give away a penalty. It's just one of those psychological things now that on top of his physical flaws, it's going to be hard for him to come back. Yeah.
And as we said, there's enough of left-footed centre-backs in our squad. So it's just in terms of that, there's no need for him. Then we've got some interesting ones that I think Sottil, the Cagliari one, I think he definitely won't make it. He barely starts for Cagliari. Then we got Petagna, Andrea Petagna.
Mario's favorite player, Andrea Petagna. How many goals has he scored this season anyway?
Bro, I don't know. Definitely not double digits. I can tell you that for free.
Oh no, I was gonna guess 2. Like that was the number that was in my head. He scored 2 goals this season. He scored 4 goals this season. More power to him. No, he's not making the national team. He's not going anywhere with this national team. I don't think so. Not with he could be a wild card, but when I'm already looking at the strikers that we've got, Immobile, Belotti, Musekin, and Caputo, there is no way any of them get dropped unless Mancini really wants to take a big physical striker with him that can bump players off. But in my opinion, there is nothing that Petagna can do that Musekin can't do 2 or 3 times better.
Yeah. If we need some old school centre forward play, Belotti can do that.
Exactly as well. Yeah.
And then the last one we've got here, then I've got a few more for you, the ones that made this squad but are not on this list. So we've got Zaccagni, who's had a good season for Hellas Verona. But I feel like there's not really a spot for him in this team. We don't play with the CAM. And, we don't really play the 3-4-2-1 that Verona plays. So I don't really see a spot for him in this team. What do you think?
Mancini is much more likely to drop someone into the hole like Insigne or Immobile, or even push a player like Barella up a little bit more, even Verratti up a little bit more. As you said perfectly, just out of sheer depth, there's no spot in this squad for Zaccagni. But what a great season he's having under Juric for Hellas Verona, man. Like, there's so many players this season in Serie A, and maybe we'll do a video on this one day soon, Raul, but so many players in that meaty part of the curve that deserve a big move, that you look at the environment and the inconsistency that the pandemic has brought to their club, and they're still playing well. Some players are really starting to show not only their physical, but their mental capacity for their football clubs at the moment. And he's one of them, Zaccagni. So, that's an idea for a video, man. Some of these players in these mid-table teams or these lower teams that have earned their big move, bro.
Yeah, who can call them mid-table ballers.
Mid-table ballers.
And then a few more, bro, that are just to close out, the ones that made this squad but that are not on this list. And I think this one, Matteo Pessina from Atalanta, I think he's had a great season for Atalanta. He's taken on the Papu role, but in a different way, in a obviously less technical way, but in a more physical way. I think he can be, a wild card pick for this team. And what do you think of him?
Was good last season at Hellas Verona, right at that right part of his age where, he can really break into the scene. It would have been so hard.
Fan, he said he was at the Bernabeu to watch the Inter Bayern final, the Triplete final.
Uno di noi. So as soon as he breaks into form, that'll be a really easy phone call for Beppe Marotta, a la Nicola Barella team. You're waiting for us because you want us. I love it. For me, he's a good player, and as I was going to say, it really can't be easy to be that player, to be the one to try and save that shit show that was the Papu Gomez situation that was handled so poorly as a club. Papu Gomez is one of, if not, in my opinion, he was always the best player at Atalanta while he was there. And for him to leave like that, and for this kid Pessina to step up, I think it was great. He's earned himself a call-up if there is a position there available for him. But as we've said, with the likes of Insigne, Verratti, and Immobile pretty much available, even though Pessina is a little bit different, I don't think he's going to get the call up, bro. Not yet, too soon.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. And then we had Ricci, Mandragora. Those two guys made it, but I don't think they will make the squad. I think they were just there. Maybe Mancini just wants to take a look at them. Same with the Ferrari, the Sassuolo centre-back. I don't think he's going to be involved. Now, this is an interesting one. El Shaarawy. What do you make of El Shaarawy? He made the latest squad.
So, we get to take 23 players, obviously, to the Euro. El Shaarawy's always been that sort of player in the background who's always there, but he's not there. And even when he's there, he's not really there for the national side. I don't think when it comes down to actually choosing this 23-man squad, I don't think he gets a look in, because he would have had to play himself into better form than the players that we've already got there. And I can't see him getting a spot over Berardi, obviously, or Caputo. And if we are going to fill up the spots in the squad, we're going to fill them more up with midfielders and possibly defenders as well. I really think the attack is pretty sorted, not in terms of who's going to get all the minutes, but in terms of who we are going to take. Because I can't leave Mosekane at home. I can't leave Caputo at home. I can't leave Belotti. I can't leave Berardi. And definitely can't leave Insigne. And you can't leave Immobile. Like, in terms of our attackers, bro, I reckon it's set. El Shaarawy, his national team-wise, he'll only get a look in a qualifying match against a team like the Faroe Islands.
Yeah, I agree with you. He could be maybe a wild card pick if any of those guys get injured. But no, I think
3 of them get injured because I don't think he's going there, man, unfortunately. Amazing how Balotelli's not even in this debate, eh? It's done. Finite.
It's done. You can't take a Serie B player to the...
Yo.
But yeah, bro, that's the squad for us. I'll everyone can take part in this. I'll leave the link to the tier maker list that we used, so you can make your own squad and then post them. Comment underneath the Twitter post that I will make or the Facebook post or whatever. Post your squads underneath ours. And just to finish it off, Anthony, strong squad, as we said, very deep and strong squad. Can Italy win the Euros?
I was just about to ask to close this out, man. I know we'll probably link up pretty much almost above in the Euros, man. We're going to link up heaps. I can't wait to do the Euro thing with you and everybody else. But I was going to ask, just looking at this squad, how far can they go? And I think these World Cup qualifiers has actually been a small indicator of who's ready for the Euro at the same time. I think there's a few sides that are a little bit inconsistent there, and this might be where Italy get the nod, because I think Mancini's got this team well oiled and kind of thinking straight as well. I think over 90 minutes, there is something I can say for sure, brother. This Italy team can beat any European side over 90 minutes. Not a problem. If this Italy team turns up, we can make good nations look poor. I'm even talking about the likes of Germany, Spain, Portugal. Spain look average. Portugal actually do look a little average despite their squad being fire. That Portugal squad is incredible. I think this Italian team, barring a really shit draw, like a separated side of the draw, which they did cop in Euro 2016, I think this team is semi-final material, bare minimum, bro. This team can get to the semi-finals, to the final, and win it. This team could also draw France in the round of 16 and go out on penalty shootout prematurely. Exactly right, that's the face. But in theory, in terms of capability, this squad is a top 3 squad in Euro. And in my opinion, there is no reason why they shouldn't be called second favourite to France, third favourite to Belgium. That's all I have to say, bro. Let's pick up our balls where they once were. Let's make some of the athletes and the legends that brought the success to this nation proud again, because we've got a lot to make up for, man.
Yeah, we do, man. We do. It's been a dark decade for Italy fans, and I agree with you. This is a semi-final level squad in this, and it's not just looking at Italy, as you said. The other squads are not looking too impressive. France, obviously, those guys are ridiculous. Their centuries of colonialism now is paying off in their squad, and they've got their squad is so deep. And now Germany, I had a look at Germany's squad, not very good. Spain squad, as you said, very average. Belgium is the one that could be the one up there with France, as you said. So I'm confident going into this tournament. Mancini, a top coach at the helm. Especially comparing to the
Lukaku v Barella Bastoni final happening, my guy. That would be the best. Yeah.
That would be so good, a Belgium-Italy match. But yeah, semi-final minimum, and I think, depending on the draw, I think these guys can actually take it. I think this is the best chance we've got for a long time to get an international trophy. So I wouldn't call it a golden generation, but it's definitely our best generation in a while. Oh yeah, definitely our best generation in a while, and full credit to Roberto Mancini. He had a big task at hand of he had a great young pool of talent to choose from over the last 2 and a bit years, and he's made all the right decisions. He's coached them all brilliantly, right to a T. He's gotten them all ready, and as I've said, let's just wait and be a little bit more complacent when maybe we beat a couple of really big sides. But at the moment, man, it's there to make a big impression. It's not there for the taking, because it's an international tournament. They are, next to really hard to win. They're not easy to win at all. You need luck, you need form, you need health, you need, touch of the gods, you need everything. But as you said, the capability and the potential is there. So let's see. Regardless of what happens, man, this team is going to play the most entertaining football the Italian national team has played on the world stage for a long time. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the world's reaction as well, because they're not ready for it. Yeah. I think a lot of people are overlooking Italy because they just think, they think of the past few years. But yeah, I think they will take a few people by surprise.
Definitely, my bro.
But yeah, Anthony, this turned into pretty much a podcast today, but it was very, very enjoyable to have you on.
Always, my brother. Always a pleasure to be here. Guys, make sure you're doing everything you can to push our boy, Zio Sharma, on Twitter, here, there, everywhere.
Yeah, and obviously check out Inter Worldwide if you haven't. You've been living under a rock if you're Inter fan. And obviously check out Anthony on in Twitter and all that good stuff. Great guy to follow. Probably should be a little bit more active, bro.
Yeah, man. I'll try with Twitter. It's just that thing that's buried way down the priority list. And I always when I get on there, I think about something to post up, but then I just get lost in it because there's so many different opinions that fly left, right, and center. It's really good for a laugh, man. Really good.
Yeah.
So keep doing your thing because you're one of the best.
Well, yeah, thank you everyone who's checked it out. You know, it's a nice long episode. Hope you stayed in right until the end, and make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe and put your opinions below about the squad. You know, who would you take? Is there anyone we missed out that we didn't mention? You know, a wild card that you would take, or you know, any opinion that you disagree with us, let us know in the comments below. And yeah, we'll see you. We'll keep you updated with the, you know, Azzurri over the summer. As Anthony said, we'll try to do Azzurri related content over the summer on my channel, on his channel. And yeah, Forza Azzurri and Forza Inter.
Forza Barella, baby.